Hi class, we'll be learning about the scientific method today. There are 6 steps to the scientific method. The first step is to come up with a question. What do you want to learn? The second step is to come up with a hypothesis. Take a guess on what you think the answer to your question might be. The third step is to gather the materials. List the materials you will need to complete the experiment. The fourth step is to conduct the experiment. Test your question by doing the experiment. The fifth step is to look at the results from the experiment. What happened during the experiment? Based on your results, come up with a conclusion. Discuss your findings and answer your question. Now it's time to try our own experiment using the steps in the scientific method. The first step is to ask a question. So for this experiment, we'll be answering how will baking soda, salt, and water affect the rate that ice melts? The second step is to come up with a hypothesis. My hypothesis is that salt and baking soda will increase the rate that the ice melts and water will have no effect. Remember, your hypothesis can be different than mine. The third step is to gather the materials. For this experiment, I am using 4 different colored bowls with an ice cube in each of them. Then a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of salt, and a teaspoon of water. And then 1 ice cube by itself as the control variable for this experiment. The next step is to conduct the experiment. For this experiment, we're going to let these ice cubes sit in the bowls for 20 minutes and see which one melts the fastest. The fifth step is to look at the results from the experiment. In this experiment, the ice cube in the salt melted first, followed by the ice cube in the water, then the ice cube in the baking soda, and lastly, the normal ice cube. The sixth and final step of the scientific method is the conclusion. Based on these results, we can conclude that salt, baking soda, and water increase the rate that the ice cube melts. I hope you enjoyed learning about the scientific method. This is so important so that we can properly answer questions through experimentation.